Hi everyone, welcome along. Welcome along. We are back. It's very late. It's nearly 1 a.m. here on Tuesday night. We've 2 days at the Galway Festival under wraps, and what a fantastic 2 days racing it was. Look, I'm not going to get into the reviews just yet. I just want to get this preview out and get it done. Thanks for everyone tuning in. We got a lot of traction on the video this time on YouTube and on Instagram, but this time it's only going out on YouTube, I think, just yet. But yeah, look, I'm going to kick straight in. We're going to do the 2 days, the Wednesday and the Thursday, the Galway Hurdle, the Galway Plate, or the Galway Plate and the Galway Hurdle. I'm going to preview every race of the 2 days, and let's hopefully we can get some more winners on the board with some really nice big places as well. But as I said, let's kick on. First race on Wednesday, which is day 3, Galway Plate Day, is a 5:05 7-race car, beginning here with a 2-mile 6 maiden hurdle, 21 runners declared. It's a bit of a puzzle, this. Look, I think there's a lot of dead wood in the race, but a couple of interesting runners, none more so down the very bottom, 19 and 20. The Paddy Mullins runner, the Willie Mullins runner with the Paddy Mullins ridden, Al Arrive. Very impressed with this Willie Mullins runner when Bumper punches down with Paddy in the saddle, runs in the Mullins' colours, and Paddy rides. So when he rides one of these, normally they do tend to have a good shout. Joseph O'Brien showed that will probably take a lot of beating with JJ Slevin in the saddle. I think the two of these might bat that out, but I'm going to go with the Mullins runner. It's not a race I'm going to be over invested in, but if I was to decide one, would be Willie Mullins and Paddy Mullins to get the Galway Plate Day after flyer. Then the second race on the cars, 2 miles 6, 23 runners declared, handicap hurdle. I like one at a bit of a price here, Paul Collins. Well named, Paul Collins, of course. There isn't a man in Galway or Kerry called Paul Collins, forget about it. And this lad actually won a novice hurdle over the course and distance. Brian McMahon trains, Darragh O'Keefe comes in for the ride, back down to a nice mark, some really nice runs in the last couple of weeks. And yeah, I think Paul Collins at 10 or 12 to 1 can give very good account of himself to fill the places here with Darragh O'Keefe in the saddle. Then the next race is race 3, and that is a handicap hurdle. Is 23 runners again declared, 2 miles, 4-year-olds plus. One at a bit of a price here. If it gets in, it'll need a run, but it's first reserve. Ross O'Sullivan trains MS Terea, Dan King in the saddle. Very interesting rider booking here. Ross O'Sullivan and Dan King, not too sure how many times they've combined or if they've ever really combined. Again, really interesting form here coming through from the handicap scene. Like a couple of his pieces of form, and I just think coming in here, Ross O'Sullivan is a Galway target specialist, and Dan King riding out of his skin. One of the top national riders, not attached to a big stable, and is doing super work this year in the saddle. So I'm going to say with that runner of Ross Sullivan's, if he gets a run, then the feature race, of course, is the Galway Plate. Probably the feature race of the week, really. 2 miles 6, folklore race, 25 runners declared. Look, this is a race you're going to need a lot of guts, you need a lot of ability, you need a bit of talent, and you need a whole lot of luck in a race like this around Galway. As I said, 22 will run, there's 25 declared, 3 reserves to get in. I'm going with 2 mad ones for the outsiders, a bit of fun. 3-car Bragg made first each way selection the race. Ran in the race last year, actually won his maiden hurdle here back a couple of seasons back. Has been running around in Grade 1 contest too. I think it was third in Grade Hurdle back in the day. Still lightly enough raced for a 9-year-old. Runs in the McNeil family colours. Great bunch of owners, the McNeil family colours. Always nice to see them with a big runner on a big day. And Gordon Elliott training 3-car Bragg. Kevin Healy comes in for a valuable £7 off of this Gelda's son of Jetaway to take it back down to 10 or 11.5. So I think you give him a right chance here if you can get out and get going. I think 3 Car Bragg, 16s, 20s, he'll give a very good account of himself. The other one I give a chance with is the Willie Mullins runner, Dan King again. Didn't actually realise Dan was going to ride when I was looking through this race, but is King Alexander. Has some nice little form in the book here and put it together. And of course, again, Dan King, I'm not too sure how many times he's ridden for Willie. Could be one of his first rides from. He probably only had a handful of rides from him, but it's great to see the bigger yards using Dan now. And I think rider Willie Mullins outside or off at Japan, and I think it's at about 25-1. King Alexander can give a very good account of himself again to fill the places. I had a couple of interesting ones as well, but I'm going to stick to 2 each way selections in the race. I like to kind of go with 2 or 3 maybe at big prices when I'm picking out ones in these big handicaps. Then that is the Galway Plate, straight on then to the qualified riders maiden over mile 4. A very interesting runner here is a UK runner is New Bay star Michael Appleby. Can't remember how many runners Michael Appleby sent over to Galway, if any. Harry Swan, top amateur, booked here. Actually, this New Bay 3-year-old is having his first run, as I said, for Michael Appleby, and Charlie Johnson used to train. Some very interesting runs. Very interesting runs in England, and coming over here, don't think they'll be sending him over on the ferry for no reason. So again, massive odds, and that will be New Bay star. Penultimate race on the Galway Plate day then is the mile 3-year-old 13 runner handicap, and I'm going to say with Moonless Sun here each way for Jessica Harrington, Shane Foley combining here, a winner last time out in Naas. I liked the way it won that day. Now the form for me hasn't really held up. But for me at 5-1, if you get an each way play, and I'd probably fill the first 3. I think Moonless Sun here runs in the second colours of my Lair. I think Jessica Harrington, Shane Foley, a combination that's on fire of late. Shane Foley's been riding out his skin this season. Great to see. I think Moonless Sun can give very good account of himself in the penultimate race. On Wednesday, day 3 of Galway, then the final race on the 3rd day of the Galway Festival is a 2 miles 23 runner or declared 3-year-old handicap. I like one here called Black Heather, if I can just find it here. I think Gavin Cromwell trains it. He does. Gary Carroll comes into the ride. This is a very interesting runner. It's actually having his first run in a handicap on the flat. He's won a bumper for Harry Kelly. He's won over hurdles. He's a very interesting runner, I think, a 7-year-old. Coming here on the flat over 2 miles. I think this lad could be probably one of my strongest each way plays in the handicaps all week on the flat. I think Black Heather, look, drawn 22. That's the only downside. But it might play to his strengths too. Sometimes having a bad draw can play to your strengths in Galway. You might need to drop in, or it can pan out, You just need that bit of luck off of the home turn. That's all you need, or turning in. You need that bit of luck, but you need a little bit of luck in any way in life. And I think Black Heather, again, to fill the frame each way in the last of day 3 Galway Plate day. Then we're going to go straight into Thursday's action, day 4. Can you believe we're at the halfway, if not just over the halfway mark at this stage? And again, we are our day start here, 2:10, 8 runners. This is Galway Hurdle Day, ladies' day. It's going to be absolutely the buzz up here all week has been unbelievable. I know we're down only through 2 days. Look, the weather could be a little bit better, but overall it's not been the worst. So we could just like to brighten up now for the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, hopefully. But look, if we can get the Galway Plate and Hurdle Day with good weather, it'll make the festival. But yeah, it's been a really fantastic meeting so far. It's what dreams are made of, having a go with weather, and you can see that. There's been great stories already. But anyway, let's kick on. 2:10, day 4 of the Galway Festival, and it's the nursery. Of course, a nursery is a 2-year-old handicap, 7 furlongs, 8 runners declared. The one I'm going to side with here is the Aidan O'Brien runner, Ball Commander. Jack Cleary comes in taking a valuable 3 off its back, 9:13. So yeah, I think Ball Commander can give Aidan O'Brien. Doesn't seem many to the festival when they do. They normally hit the frame or the lollipop in front. So yeah, Ball Commander for me can give a bold account of himself in the open race of day 4. Then straight into the listed contest. This is 7 furlongs, Fillies Stakes, 10 runners declared here. Yeah, I think Paddy Toomey's runner Black Caviar Goal back in soft ground should give a good account of herself. 5-2, very short. Great story here with Dennis Hogan trained Mirdan, winner of his last, or her last, should I say. She after winning is a 4-5 in the bounce. Her last 5 in the bounce, and her last win, of course, was in Killarney, when taking out that stakes race in Killarney. So that was great to see, moving up through the handicap company into stakes company, and now trying to back it up again. 3-1, a little bit short for me. Black Caviar Gold, as I said, back on the softer ground, but still a little bit short for me. One at a price though, back on soft ground, is Grey Dream Believer. Who doesn't love a grey? Runs in the very shrewd Kevin Blake and partners colours. And Joseph O'Brien trains a trainer that's on absolute fire. Decky McDonough, local enough man too. One of the senior guys in the weigh room and still riding out of his skin. Great Dream Believer, number 4, drawn 4, 14-1. I think back it each way, can't go wrong. Then into the race 3, it's a 2 mile 2 contest, 7 runners declared, a grade 3. Steeplechase, I think Sawyer de Grage, the French runner here for William Mullins, and runs in those Donnelly colours. Very impressed with this lad in Wexford. Sean O'Keefe took the ride. Sean's out for a bit now. He got hurted, and hopefully he was riding out of his skin. Sean O'Keefe, one of the top riders in the country. Look, if you look back even through his form there, he's very lightly raced. Won a maiden hurdle in Tremor, but then went to Leopardstown and was beaten only ahead by El Fabiolo. Cracking little run that was. He then went and fell in Cork and was pulled up in Punchestown. But just came out and had a little bit of a sweetener up, I thought, in the beginner's chase. And it's his only run over fences, beating William Tell. I think William Tell is a very good yardstick for Harry Kelly, and to beat him by a length and a quarter, I think we'll have learned a lot. Made a few mistakes in the contest, and I think at 6-1, Shadow Paddy, Owen McCarthy, cracking trainer, and would love to have a Galway Festival winner. Gary Noonan, cracking rider, 7-4, sharp favourite. For me, I'd rather take a chance here with Sawyer de Grage at the prices, and I think give very good account of himself. It's a shame there's not 8 runners in it. You get a cracking play each way, but then again, the price mightn't be that big. Then we're going to go straight to the novice hurdle over 2.5 miles here, race 4 on day 4, and I'm really sweet on here on Midnight Jet for Henry Bromhead, Darragh O'Keefe. I know he's short, 7-4, 2-1, but what he's done so far, I think, in his last 2 starts for me, he's going to be the one they all have to beat. In Killarney there, beating Columbus by 9 lengths, sets the standard here for me. He won a maiden hurdle, 25 runner maiden hurdle in Varios on his start before that. So I just think coming in here, Midnight Jet, look, there is a lot of top quality opposition in this, and maybe I should have went for one each way with the 8 runners if they stayed in for me. But look, Midnight Jet, I think, gets the job done here and on race 4. Then straight into the 2 miles, race 5, handicap hurdle, grade 3. Sorry, Galway Hurdle, should I say. It's a grade 3, the feature race. You've got the plate, you've got the hurdle, 2 feature race of the week, and these are the races you want to win. Any trainer, jockey, owner, horse, anyone involved with the race and going to Galway. If you want to go to Galway, you want to win the plate, you want to win the hurdle. And look, I was lucky enough to remember the memories getting me into Ansar, winning a plate or a hurdle and a plate. Dennis O'Regan, for Noah Mead back in the day. So could we see? Or sorry, Dermot Wells. Could we see something like that in here? Not sure, but I am going to go with 2 in the race. I'm going to go with 2 in the race. Look, last year we picked the winner and got thrown out in Stuart Stream. Helvick Dream comes again. Dunamile retains the ride for Noel Mead. But one up near the top of the weights here, Cash Littledale lad for Gordon Elliott. Josh Williamson takes the mount here. Josh, of course, turned pro, and he's a chip off the All Block. and he's a cracking value for £5. So he brings him back down to 11.6 at around 20 to 1. If you go back through some of his form, yeah, I think he was third in the grade. He was third in this race last year, and I just think he was third in this race last year and then won 2 on the bounce. He fell in on next start after, and that was in the grade 1, and then he was third behind Lossiemouth at Leopardstown. I just think Cashildale lad for me. I think he's overlooked. At 18 to 1, I'm a huge supporter of this lad each way. The other one then is If It Runs, very eye-catching jockey bookie. Mark Walsh, of course. William Muns is very vocal, saying that he would not support, I suppose, but give Mark Walsh, going by what I was saying after, when Mark Walsh lost the job last year of JP's, it looked like Willie was one of his biggest advocates, and I think they could have a formidable partnership here, coming in there for some sweet rides. I think Mark Walsh will. Too bossy for us. When Rando already in the week, interested to see will it turn up. Ran early in the Monday in the GPT or the big amateur race on the Monday, and gave a very good account of himself. Looked like maybe he was maybe after stealing it on the front end with Jody Town, and I just think that coming here, If It Runs, when you look back at it's hurdle form, some cracking hurdle form has been, the last 3 starts has been on the flat, so sweetening up, maybe come back over hurdles. Too bossy for us, something we all are sometimes, but Cashildale lad and Too bossy for us, my 2 each way players in the Galway Hurdle. Then straight into the race after that, 6th race on the card. This is a mile handicap, 17 runners declared here, and I like one here for Russell Sullivan Yard, Follow Me. Something that the rider done. Did you see the ride Billy Lee gave the horse and today, which is Tuesday, and the last race for Conor Dwyer? What a cool collective ride. Look, I know I'm friendly with the man, and it's great to see, but this leg gets fighted for the first time. He's back down to 79. He's 1 off 93. Has some useful form and can bring it back together, I think, here. Billy actually won on this lad in the Curragh, and it was the only time riding it. We all know how well Billy can ride Galway, and I think at again 10 to 1, Follow Me. Hopefully they'll all be following me home in race 6 on Galway Hurdle. Then the penultimate race of day 4 is a 1.5 handicap, 21 runners declared, and Annie's Angel for me gives me a chance here each way. One over the course before. Aidan McGuinness loves to target Galway, has some really nice form coming back. Ran over the last couple of runs over hurdles. Adam Caffrey, of course, rides so well and gets on. They have a good partnership, Ado and Adam Caffrey, and he's a cracking young rider, Adam Caffrey. I think Annie's Angel could give account of herself at 16 to 1 in the penultimate race of day 4. Then the final race of day 4 is a bumper, 2 miles 2. And it's a race I have no opinion of, and I'm not going to select anything in it. So hopefully by then we're all after collecting. Look, getting this out on my YouTube, I'm going to share it up. And hopefully we bang in a few more winners. We've given a good account of ourselves after coming back there. So hopefully we can keep the ball rolling. It's late. It's 1 a.m. This is probably not the most energetic preview, but I'll get some content done at the races in the next couple of days. Just been super busy up there at the minute, and we're there for the day job first most, so getting this content out is really helping me. So get it out, get it liked, get it shared. I'm not even going to be over eccentric with it. Make sure you get it liked, get it shared out, and hopefully we can keep the ball rolling. If anyone's watched the video, it doesn't take anything just to give it a quick little share, and it means a lot. Like, it'll grow the page. You never know who could come in and follow the page. And head over to my Instagram page, Flag to Finish Racing, building a huge content following there. A lot of interviews going up there, not so much on the YouTube. So I'm trying to get more previews out on the YouTube again. And again, the response has been phenomenal. But look, it all helps that we get a few winners, and that's what we're here for. We're all here for a bit of fun again. It's been a fantastic week. Let's get the show going. 2 days down. These are the next 2 days. Mark Fanning flag to finish racing. Over and out.